Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name's Jen. I help people reinvent their reality. So today it's a little different. I'm in a different room. My power went out yesterday because of a tropical storm that decided to blow through New Jersey, and so I'm doing things a little bit different. I said, well, I could still shoot a video. You know, I'm going off like my phone data right now, and draining my battery and all that good stuff. But I wanted to make a video anyway, even if it's not my usual background or whatever. So I want to talk about how when problems are not really problems for us. So, the power went out yesterday, maybe about noon, 1 o'clock-ish after lunch. And we're like, crap. At first I was like, actually, not so bad. I have been saying how I want to write more and get more stuff done and get off the computer more. And I haven't been able to kind of force myself to take a whole day for myself. It's almost like I've become an addict in a sense, in a way, but not really. But it was kind of like a sign the universe was like granting my wish. It was like, okay, cutting off your power, all good. And it's not going to be on until, I believe their estimated time is going to be tomorrow, Thursday, by 11 p.m. So still have like another day or so without power. But it made me think, I don't have like lights and, kind of got to do the whole flashlight thing at night, no TV, electronics, no computer. All my stuff is on my computer. So I'm going to do what I can do as far as videos and stuff like that. But whatever, it is what it is. But it made me think, like, I'm still connected. We still have our phones, right? As long as there's a charge on the phone, I mean, you could always go in your car and charge your phone now, right? So these are like real world problems. And it made me think about how when we think our problems are problems, but they're not actually problems. So, there are so many people in this world who never have power, right? They never have power. They're just used to not having any electronics or any lighting or anything, right? No air conditioning for themselves, right? No Netflix to watch at night. And it puts things into perspective. Being out of power, it's really not so bad. The hardest thing is I was like, crap, I went to the grocery store. I bought all these groceries the other day. It's like, how am I going to keep this stuff cold, right? Again, real world problems. I'm lucky to have food, right? So it was interesting because last night took a walk around to see there's some downed trees that took out a bunch of there's like, I think like 1.4 million people in Jersey right now without power. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but not as bad as when we had Hurricane Sandy, because that was about a week. A lot of people were out for a much, much longer time frame than that. So it's really not too bad when you think about it. But yeah, it's kind of interesting how everybody's outside, everybody's sitting on their porch. I sat on the front porch last night, and everything's actually dark. You don't have the street lights, and it's an interesting concept. But we always play the story in our head that we have these gigantic problems, and maybe some things are more. They are pretty serious problems, what have you. But a lot of times what I'm talking about here are the problems that aren't actually problems. The issues that we bring up, the things that we take for granted in life, where we're like, oh man, the power's out. Oh, I can't get on the internet, or I can't do this or that, or I can't post a video. Or we've become such a privileged society where we really are narrow in our focus. And if you were to look around the world at how some other people are living right now, then you would be it would be very eye-opening. It would be very eye-opening. But we get lost because we live a certain way, we live in society, and we're used to certain things. So when one of those things is taken away, if they took away your phone, or they took away your internet, or they took away your TV, or they took away, I don't know, even being able to connect with another human being, right? Like now, even the power is out, we still can connect. I could still go on Facebook or Instagram, my battery's going to get drained, but whatever. You can still do it. You can go somewhere that has power, right? And go on their wireless. So, what about what would you do if you lost all the connection to everything, to everybody? What would you do, right? We say, it's nice the power goes out, and I'm going to take a walk, and it's nice to be outside and talk to my neighbors and all that good stuff. But what if you had no communication through the internet or even through person? What would you do, right? What would you do? If the apocalypse happened, what would you do? Would you view it in a different light maybe, right? See, we always know that the power is going to come back on. We always know that things are going to go back to the way they were. But what if they didn't? What if they didn't? And I think right now people are having a hard time adjusting to this pandemic, for one, right? Because everybody's out of work for so long. People can't just go wherever they want. They can't just go inside a restaurant and eat, at least not in these parts right now. And they can't go to the gym and work out, right? All the things in your daily schedule that you can no longer do, it freaks people out because suddenly their comfort zone is thrown for a loop, right? And I talked about this yesterday at an IG Live that I did with my friend Eleanor, which I'm going to post once I can get power back and get it back on my computer. And it's really good if you want to check it out. That'll be posted this week. And it's all about the comfort zone. Comfort zone. Why we don't take risks, why it's scary for us to take risks, and what our brains, Eleanor explains very well how our brains have this primitive aspect to them, and we haven't quite evolved yet. Our brains haven't quite evolved to catch up, I guess, with this idea of evolving consciousness. So we always kind of go back to our primitive protective mechanisms, like we're running away from a wild animal or something that's going to come eat us. So it puts things into perspective. And, it's all about our perception. And, the way we live right now is vastly different from the way somebody else is living on the other side of the world. So if this is our normal, then our apocalypse would be like that person's normal, right? Right? Because they just have maybe the basics, food, water, shelter, if even that for some people. But that is like their normal. So what would be outside of their comfort zone would be maybe somebody giving them like $1,000 or giving them even $10, right? Or giving them a nice house to live in and shelter to live in. And outside our comfort zone would be taking those things away. So it's like the opposite, if you think about the two extremes. So I don't know quite where I'm going with this. I just wanted to mention in case anybody's wondering about anything like that, or I don't know. But yeah, think about it. Think about it. If you were stripped of all the attachments and you had to live that way long term for a very long time, a very long period of time, or if that just became your new reality, would you adjust to it? You probably would over time, but it would take some time. It would be that initial uncomfortable adjustment period because you're not used to it, right? It's outside the comfort zone. It's outside of what you consider normal. So that's why, we take a lot for granted, in this part of the world. We take a lot for granted with how much we actually have, how much we own, how much we, so many things to be grateful for that a lot of times we're not grateful for. So this is why, a lot of people will say that having a gratitude journal or something is very fluffy. But it's not. It's not, because it puts us back into that place, into our heart center, and makes us compassionate towards others, and realize that this could be vastly different from how somebody else is living on the other side of the world. I mean, I don't want to get into politics too much, but even like mask wearing too. Some people are very against it, and they think it's control by the government and all that kind of thing. I don't see it that way, but that is just my own opinion. Like I said, I don't want to get into it because it's like opening a can of worms. But you understand that, for us to put on like a piece of cloth over our face or something is very difficult for some of us because it's outside of our comfort zone or outside of our realm, right? Because different priorities, right? We have shifting priorities. Whereas somebody in another part of the world, their priority is just to not get sick, or their priority is to not get some kind of flesh-eating disease, or their priority is to just have food for the day or food for the week for their family. So just understand that there's different ways of viewing everything. So that's it for me today. Just wanted to shoot a quick video. It's like 10 minutes, going on 10 minutes. I just like talking. Let you know what's up. And I will see you guys on tomorrow's video, hopefully. Peace out.